Turn me up, I like my money like I like my niggas. Scream, face card, never decline or what I mean. Act up and you gon' make me make a scene. Only time you hear my voice is when they play me on the screen. Got bad habits, I'm not the one you wanna keep. She a trap star, put that lady on a tree. Got her ass so shook, she shaking like an apple tree. Yeah, this life ain't meant for you, but baby girl, it's meant for me. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. What it do? This my boo, she from the south. We running man just like these bitches run they mouth. I got the juice, but they still claiming it's a drought. If I say I'm coming through, I'm about to flip the house. That boy crazy, say he tryna have my baby. Hold on, Slim Shady, just like Mariah, drive him crazy. Got him stressed, make him feel it in his chest. Ask him how it feel, just like a bullet with no vest. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. Turn me up, I like my money like I like my niggas. Scream, face card, never decline or what I mean. Act up and you gon' make me make a scene. Only time you hear my voice is when they play me on the screen. Got bad habits, I'm not the one you wanna keep. She a trap star, put that lady on a tree. Got her ass so shook, she shaking like an apple tree. Yeah, this life ain't meant for you, but baby girl, it's meant for me. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. What it do? This my boo, she from the south. We running man just like these bitches run they mouth. I got the juice, but they still claiming it's a drought. If I say I'm coming through, I'm about to flip the house. That boy crazy, say he tryna have my baby. Hold on, Slim Shady, just like Mariah, drive him crazy. Got him stressed, make him feel it in his chest. Ask him how it feel, just like a bullet with no vest. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. Turn me up, I like my money like I like my niggas. Scream, face card, never decline or what I mean. Act up and you gon' make me make a scene. Only time you hear my voice is when they play me on the screen. Got bad habits, I'm not the one you wanna keep. She a trap star, put that lady on a tree. Got her ass so shook, she shaking like an apple tree. Yeah, this life ain't meant for you, but baby girl, it's meant for me. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. What it do? This my boo, she from the south. We running man just like these bitches run they mouth. I got the juice, but they still claiming it's a drought. If I say I'm coming through, I'm about to flip the house. That boy crazy, say he tryna have my baby. Hold on, Slim Shady, just like Mariah, drive him crazy. Got him stressed, make him feel it in his chest. Ask him how it feel, just like a bullet with no vest. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me. This lifestyle got girlies clocking on my teeth. This lifestyle can get you far, know what I mean. This lifestyle ain't meant for you, it's meant for me.
Girl alive and bros, welcome to Let's Address It. Okay, so this is where the controversy, confusion, and cultural chaos gets handled properly. Baby, I address past and present scandals, common misconceptions and internet myths, wild viral moments, and old drama that still needs resolution. The things people think they understand until we dig deeper. If it's wild, weird, or wrong, baby, we're pulling up the timeline, the document, and the receipts with some grown woman commentary. Because I address it all, you might as well just call me Miss Addie. Let's get into this mess. This product is so important because not only is it produced with care, but it actually has proven results. There have been over 10,000 units of this sold. The company name is shareabutters.com, and this was developed with love by a woman who simply wanted to help her beautiful daughter as she recovered from the devastating effects of cancer, chemo, and radiation burn, and has helped many others with fading stretch marks, eczema, and many other skin issues. Check out the website as it has tons of other valuable products. Check it out. There will be a link and a discount code pinned in the comments section of this video.
Nobody is above blocking. You stress me, I block you. You give me attitude, I block you. You come on my page, talk crazy stuff, I block you. You don't like me, me don't like you, I block you. It's real life.
What is going on, Vibers? What is happening? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody's doing good. So I wanted to talk about this because this don't make no sense. As usual, we have this situation brewing coming from a certain side of the fence. But first and foremost, we got to get into whatever is going on with the Vibers. Welcome back. I hope everybody's doing well. We see, okay, Succulent the plant girl has graduated with her degree in medical administration. Shout out to you, girl alive. We are so proud of you. That's amazing. Good for you, girl. Let's congratulate the Viber. That's what I'm talking about. We definitely love that. Congrats, girl. Congrats. Love this. Love this for you. We love this for you. This is what I love about the Vibers. Vibers are educated, baby, doing their thing, hydrated, moisturized, all of that, okay? And we do not operate in pick me, okay? That's not what we do. Shout out to Succulent. Congratulations, girl. Congratulations. So listen, y'all. Y'all know the situation with T.S. Madison. Let me get this out of the way before we get started. This channel absolutely does not condone violence against any group, whether, I agree with their rhetoric or whatever. Everyone is deserving of their humanity. We do not believe that people should be bullied, attacked, mistreated, or harmed because of whatever their orientation is. That's really people's personal business. However, over here, anybody can get it. Okay. So if you run around here, foul about the mouth, and doing some mess, even though, you get a lot of protections as someone from that group that the rest of us don't get, we call it out. Okay. And so, ladies, I know that some of this stuff that we're going to be listening to is going to be kind of triggering. So just be careful on how we respond in the chat. Okay. Be very, very creative and mindful of the BS. Okay. So we're going to get into it. I think most of you guys know Spiritual Whistleblower. Spiritual Whistleblower is actually a friend of mine. Very, very sweet person. She literally calls out and has written many books on narcissism. And that is her area of expertise. She's gone viral several times talking about this stuff. I definitely remember when she was dragging the crap and exposing the crap out of Kevin Samuels. Honey, and let me just give y'all a little insides tea on that. Okay, there was a woman that was coming against her for defending women against Kevin. Okay, now it's really, really interesting because I want to say, since I have been friends with her, 3 times this has happened. Okay. So I'm going to tell you right now, leave the spiritual whistleblower alone. Okay. Because the 3 people that I know that went the hardest against spiritual whistleblower, including Kevin Samuels and that other young lady, and I believe it's one other person. Yeah, it is. It is. One other person started going hard against her. They're all in the graveyard now. Kid you not. Kid you not. They all were going in on her, going hard for no reason. Her call out was righteous, and they are all now resting in peace, hopefully. Okay. But let's go ahead and get into it. So we know, I think a lot of you guys know that there's a clip that has gone viral where T.S. Madison went on to whose platform? Nene Leakes' platform. Okay. And so what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and review that and do some commentary, because this is where this all came from. Okay. So let me go ahead and share this. Let me go ahead and share this video so that we can get into the topic. Okay. So let me see. Let's share the screen. I'm just going to do the iPhone mirror thing. Okay. So let me actually make this a little bit bigger so that you guys can see it. Okay. And there. Okay. Should be able to be seen now. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this. Hold on one second. We got to unmute it.
Let's open it up. They understand, they get it, they have a career. I just need somebody like that.
I'm gonna date several men at a time.
Well, if you meet somebody that's just good for me, let me know. Because
would you date him if I know him?
Yeah, that doesn't. Do you only know gay men?
Well, I don't date gay men.
What? Okay, well, I you know when you guys be saying that, that's weird.
Why?
Because what do you mean
Oh, wait, the volume went out? Okay, my bad. My bad. Okay, so let me fix that. I did not know why did the volume go out? Okay, hang on. Let me fix that. I guess I should have, you know what? I thought it would be easier just to do this in StreamYard, but maybe the share screen only works good with when we use Ecamm. I think that's exactly what it is too. Okay. All right, so let me just do it this way then. Let me take this off and let's share this another kind of way. All right, let me throw the video into an actual window then. So sorry about that, guys, but thanks for letting me know. It was working and then I did something. Really? So it was working before? Oh, you know what? Okay, was the sound it was back? Okay, well, let me go back and reconnect then. Let me reconnect to it. And okay, hang on. All right, so it's connecting to my computer. Hold on. Let me go back. All right. So let me know when you can hear it. Okay. So if I do this, can we hear it?
I need somebody that's just well traveled. They understand, they get it. They have.
Let me know. Did you guys hear that? Were you able to hear that or no? As soon as we could hear you, we could hear the video also. Oh, okay. So, okay, I see what happens. So this, because it's not a Chrome window, it doesn't work the same way. So I got to stay off mute. Okay, no problem. All right, let me rewind it. Let's go.
I need somebody that's just well traveled. They understand, they get it, they have a career. I just need somebody like that.
I'm gonna date several men at a time.
Well, if you meet somebody that's just good for me, let me know. Because
Would you date him if I know him?
Yeah, there's a. Do you only know gay men?
Well, I don't date gay men.
What? Okay, well, I
Let me stop for a second. I said I was just gonna let it play, and I will for the most part. But let's set a precedence here, okay? This is this is really interesting. So T.S. Madison is a trans-identified male. We call them Tims for short, trans-identified male. T.S. Madison is a biological male. T.S. Madison has a penis, and T.S. Madison wants to or chooses to identify himself as a woman, right? And T.S. Madison believes that if a man dates him, that man is not gay, that man is still heterosexual. Okay, let's go.
You know when you guys be saying that, that's weird.
Why?
Because what do you mean you don't date gay men? Because if he is sleeping with you and sleeping with a woman, he's something.
Well, he's not gay.
What is he?
He's definitely not gay.
He's bi?
Listen, because if a man come in here and he looks at me and you,
Yeah. What is he?
Well, he likes women.
Yeah, because he doesn't know.
And if he does know, he likes women.
Okay.
Now,
so, but what is he?
Well, that will possibly, it's a possibility.
He's bisexual?
He could be bi or he could be pan.
Okay, what was pan? I forgot. That means you be whatever you like.
Hearts, not hearts.
Right. So whatever you see, you like, whatever I'm on, that's what I'm on today.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
You know, a lot of men are a lot of men are pan, but they don't say anything. Like
I don't want to run into them. I don't want to date him.
Nene, if you've dated,
I need you to like
Nene. If you've
Hello
dated,
Kitty,
if you've dated men,
yes.
If you've dated men, there's a possibility in your life that
he's been with a man.
He's been with something.
What do you mean he's been with something?
He's been outside. I mean, here's the thing. I know that women consider trans women men because we were born male, but there's a difference between being man and male.
I get it. But you have your part.
That's correct.
So he can love you and think you're so beautiful, and I want to sleep with you.
There are men who deal with me that won't touch my parts. Anytime you see
But does he know it's there?
Yeah, he knows it's there. I'm not hiding it.
Oh, you're not?
No.
I mean, that
wouldn't
make any sense.
Well, I've had gentlemen to tell me, hey, put a pillow over that. And I'm like, well, you're not the nigga for me. You don't have to touch it and deal with it, but I'm not hiding shit from you.
So, okay, wait a minute. We got to go back and figure this out.
Yeah.
So the man.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, so the man.
So hold on. So like, just really think about what's happening. Okay. So if a man gets to dealing with this sir, right? And the man runs into an eggplant and the man does not want any parts of it or doesn't want to see it, then T.S. Madison, who believes that man is heterosexual, has an issue with that man not wanting to be close to, near, or see an eggplant. Okay, so look, first of all, I just have to say this. And I don't even think I hear people talking about this. And if you've been following for any time, you know that I am not new to this conversation at all, right? Listen, honey. Oh, how do I say this without doing too much? Okay. You know how like people like to say, namely men like to say to women, especially Black women, if we color our hair blonde, or if we straighten our hair, blow it out, relax it, whatever it is, that's self-hate, right? Some people would say that women, and I can definitely understand why we would say this. They say that, they call it out as self-hate if a woman lighten her skin to look more Caucasian, right? What do we say about the person that's in denial of having a dick, though? How is that not self-hate? Especially in the case of T.S. Madison, he hasn't went that far. But if you want to remove it, that's not self-hate. That's not something that we, should be talking about to a therapist. I'm just wondering. Let's go though.
But here's the thing: you might demonize him for telling.
I won't. I just probably won't be with him.
Yeah, that is correct. And then men risk. They risk losing that. There's some men that have experiences, just like there are women that have had an experience.
Well, why he can't do to me the same thing he doing to you?
Because I don't have a pussy.
But okay, you're right. I forgot. Okay.
I don't have a pussy.
But he's coming over there looking at your beautiful hair and makeup.
Uh-huh.
Well, he can't come over my house and see mine.
Well, yeah.
Well, what's going on?
Well, shit.
Why the hell you going to sleep with me then going to sleep with you for?
Men like variety.
Oh, please. I don't want him.
Well, shit. I mean, hey, but it's happening.
I'm over it.
But these things, this is what women.
That's why I'm not even dating. I mean, I'm dating, but I'm not. I mean, I don't know.
But you can't hold yourself to a dating standard because you're afraid of a man. That's not the worst.
So you think it's okay for me to sleep with a guy that's sleeping like that?
Well, if he's sleeping,
having sex like that,
I don't know. I think that if he's bisexual, but here's the myth about bisexuality.
You think I should be taking PrEP? It's a compliment.
Yes. I think that all women should be taking PrEP.
Really?
Yes.
Because a friend of mine told me she's taking it.
Tamar.
Yeah.
Yeah. She told.
So here we go. So now remember, this is hinged upon this community because there are a lot of them that are very upset with Nene for this. But here's the thing. First of all, if PrEP needs to be in the equation, okay, so let's just be clear about what the stats are, okay? The largest community of people that need PrEP just so happen to come from the community that would sleep with T.S. Madison, right? So that in itself is an issue. Look at all of the inconveniences that women are being asked to participate in, all of the disrespect, all of the concessions that women are supposed to be making and standing down in so that this person can feel comfortable with pretending to be you. Okay? Yes, PrEP is something that people take in order to protect themselves from possible HIV infection. So that thank you. Thank you so much for this, CJ. PrEP is not designed for biological women. It has not been tested on biological women. They did not have us in mind. That literally should speak to something, right? And now here's the thing. There are some women that, don't mind or will sleep with bisexual men knowing that's their business. They can do that if they want to. But the vast majority of women do not want to be in a sexual relationship with a man that sleeps with other men. And that's women's choice. And the fact that women's choices are being infringed upon by people who want to usurp what being a woman is and what womanhood actually is, that's a problem for me. No, Tamar is not a man. Tamar is just Tamar is a mammy, right? So Tamar is just so male identified that she does not put herself first. So she would rather risk it all to get with the man than self-preserve. Okay. So, it's really disrespectful. That's why I tell women all the time, you need to pay attention to what you're supporting and what you're advocating for when you decide to let a man in your space. Okay. Because here's the thing. The nature of men never changes. I don't care how much lipstick he wears. I don't care how he beats his face. I do not care how good he is at imitation. The male nature will always take over. And what is the male nature? The male nature is literally to do what? Come in and tell you what to do as a woman, right? Men conquer. That's their nature. So this is why this problem that we're having from trans-identified males is not something that biological men have an issue with when they deal with trans-identified females who are, transitioning to be men. You notice that this conversation does not come up with them. The men are not running around saying that these people are coming into our spaces directing traffic. That's not that they don't have to do that, because why? Because the nature of woman is to cooperate with the man, right? That's your nature. You go into a situation where men are in rulership, which most of us now go against that nature. Amen. Right? But they literally go into, trans-identified females go into spaces where men are, and they adhere to the culture of men, right? Because why? They're submitting to male leadership. That's what they're doing. But it's the reverse, right? When it comes to us, the trans-identified males come into spaces with women and tell women what to do, how to feel about it, and then tell you to shut the F up, and what you're saying don't matter. Okay, because they're right. All right. So, that's the difference, because again, your nature is going to take over. Okay, let's do it.
Me too. I think that all women should be taking PrEP. I think that all women should take whatever necessary safety precautions, whether the man identifies as heterosexual, bisexual, homosexual, pansexual. I think that all women should be taking the necessary precautions, because when women really understand that men are a creature of curiosity, they're a creature of that dick hard, they gonna fuck it.
Really? So is the PrEP gonna make me sick?
Well, the PrEP, you should consult with your PCP, your primary care physician, and let them walk you through the things that it would do. It would definitely build you up enough so you never catch HIV.
We don't know that, because like CJ is saying, the warnings at the bottom state clearly PrEP has not been tested nor intended for biological women. And another thing that I don't like, well, I'm not advocating for men per se, here's what I can tell you. Men who sleep with who sleep with the T.S. Madisons of the world, if they will sleep with women, they're putting you at risk, right? But what T.S. Madison is trying to say is that this is the behavior of all men. T.S. Madison, in order to feel comfortable in her transhood, right? In order to feel comfortable about this, T.S. Madison has to do what? Diminish and usurp women and make women feel like we should feel threatened and just basically submit to whatever regime they got going on here. All men are not rocking with this. All men are not doing that. Heterosexual men are not messing around with T.S. Madison. Okay, this is something. Do you guys remember the interview that I did on Storm a couple years ago? That they got all of T.S. Madison included, got upset with this, right? Because when they were saying that, they only sleep with heterosexual men, I said that was impossible. Heterosexual men do not sleep with trans women. They just don't. And then just really think about how sad this is, that this man would tell a woman to consult with her doctor and consider taking a medication that has never been tested on women. And on top of that, he just told her that you'll be fine if you take it. That's what he said.
AIDS. Now, other STIs are out there. And I think that people think that that's the worst thing to have is AIDS. But, there are other STIs that you have to protect yourself from. So just protect yourself. Even if you're married. Even in these days and times, if you're married, these niggas.
Yeah, because you notice how T.S. Madison wants to instill in women that all men are doing this. No, I do believe that there are a lot of men that are, but no, the majority of men are not with this. They're not doing that, which is why they're trying to normalize this and put women on edge, which if you're a woman, I don't know how you can be on edge, because again, as long as you are in situations with heterosexual men that you can trust and all that kind of stuff, you ain't got this to worry about. This is not your problem. But if you are a woman that is understanding that you are sleeping with men who will sleep with men, you are at the highest risk. You are at the highest risk. And like for me, if it's too many red flags, no matter what it is, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So just think about all of the STIs that are out here anyway, right? Which is why I've never been promiscuous, which is why I've never just, been out here slinging kitty cat like that. So if you start to make decisions where, well, I'm going to expand to, open my options and not, discriminate against men who may sleep with other men, understand that now you're not just opening yourself up for, syphilis and herpes and all this kind of stuff, which there's always the risk of HIV infection anyway. But baby, if you're going to sleep knowingly, especially, you need to know that you have put yourself in the highest risk category to get that package. Okay. So, and again, say Jay, I'm gonna star this comment. Let me find it again so I can go and grab it when I want to. The warnings at the bottom of PrEP say that this has not been tested nor intended for biological women. So just be careful. All right? Just be careful.
This is loose.
They are. You are right now. That part I know you're right about. They outside.
They out the door.
They are.
I don't give a fuck how bad you is, how pretty you is, how fine, how sexy, how rich you are.
Yeah.
These niggas outside.
They are outside.
So that's why you gotta be outside.
You do. Thank you so much. Yes.
I love you.
Yeah, so be outside with them. So like that's good advice. That's good advice. So let me switch over to a video. So the spiritual whistleblower, shout out to her, responded to T.S. Madison, right? And let's just see what she said. Okay, let's go over here and see what she said, because whatever she said got T.S. Madison a little upset. All right, so let's go. Let's go. Okay, and she has been going in. All right, let's go over here. And then we have some more commentary from the DL Whisperer, who'll be out here checking shit as well, right? So let's go over. I think we're going to do it this one.
It's about time that somebody calls T.S. Madison out and trans women like her. Nobody will talk about this, and I think it's about time. And I'm calling all psychologists. If you're a psychiatrist, psychologist, and you happen to be homosexual, whether you're trans or what have you, you have a clinical degree in psychology, please come forward. If you have an ounce of integrity and you recognize this type of abuse within the LGBT, let's have a conversation. I'm gonna call it out, and I don't give a fuck who gets mad. And don't try to report my page, because I will appeal it and TikTok will put it back up. Okay, ain't nobody bullying no trans in this video. Ain't nobody bullying LGBT. I'm speaking truth. There's a lot of toxic motherfuckers within the LGBT community that don't want to hear the truth. And when you call out the truth, they quick to say, oh, you homophobic. No, bitch, you don't want to be exposed for the toxic piece of shit that you are. I'm going to say, what I have witnessed myself in the LGBTQ.
Sorry about that, y'all. I made a mistake. And I don't know how I did that, but I did. Let me put this back in the screen. Sorry about that. All right.
Bad. Now I have a lot. I dare somebody to call me motherfucking homophobic, because a lot of my followers are gay men, and I do have trans women following me that co-sign my message. because nobody will call out the toxic motherfuckers in the LGBT. So what I think about T.S. Madison is toxic as hell. Nene Leakes allowed T.S. Madison to play in her face. That whole interview on Nene's show, that podcast, T.S. Madison, this is what narcissistic, I do believe T.S. Madison is highly narcissistic, sociopathic, mind you. That's just my opinion. I see all through her shit. Manipulative as fuck. She don't want no feminine man. She wants a mass.
Sorry, y'all. I did it again. My bad. I do not know how I keep doing that. 1 second.
Which means she messing with the DL men. She's one of them trans women that loves to mess with DL men that already have wives at home. She don't want the feminine one. She
And let me tell you why. Okay, the reason why they like to mess with the men that they are claiming that is heterosexual is because it feels better when you're actually competing with who you're mimicking. This is why, who remembers my term biofemphobic, that the Urban Dictionary will not allow me to insert, right? Biofemphobic, right? Biofemphobic means simply that when someone or a movement, an agenda, a person, whatever it is doing something to advance non-biological women at the expense of biological women, whether it's hatred, diminishing us, calling us fish and all this kind of stuff. You have a term for every single community and for everything that everyone does, right? So we have transphobia, we have homophobia, we have misogyny, we have misogynoir, we have all of these things, misandry or whatever. But when you actually identify what is happening to biological women, people don't want to talk about it. So this is why I came up with the term. And this is why it means something to me, because no one wants to address that this movement is diminishing actual women, marginalizing them, putting us at risk so that you can advance men, basically. That's what they're doing. So yeah, this is why they love DL men, because a DL man makes them feel like they're quote unquote closer to, to being with, to being like us or being in competition with us. You know what I'm saying? They like a straight presenting man, preferably a man that is with a biological woman, because sickly, they feel like they are winning something. They feel like they have something over their head. Again, these are men trying to bully women. Okay. And what they're doing is trying to bully women with their womanhood. They're trying to bully us with womanhood that they're trying to usurp. And here's the thing. I need to understand. It's not all of them that are doing this, right? But I'm not about to go through and act like they're, the presentation of it is not problematic for women. The fact that we see biological women like Serena Williams, right? Having to fight off being called a man all the time, right? Or you have, and the only people that do this is Black men, right? Black men love to tell Black women that they need to do something about trans because they look better than us, or they're starting to look like us, or even worse, they'll say that a Black woman looks like a trans because, trans women wear lashes, so why you got on lashes? Trans women are imitating. Trans women are embarking upon our femininity and do it so we have to stop being women, stop being the masters of beauty because these men are coming in here. That's what, and notice most men tell women that it's our job to fight these men. And I can understand actually why the men would say that. Number one, most women are going to protect them. As much as Black women walk around talking about we don't have no protection, let a heterosexual man check T.S. Madison and see who's going to run to T.S. Madison's aid. The women are. Black women love, okay, love to jump in front of a biological male in a dress and defend him from a heterosexual male who is simply probably defending his own image, right? Yeah, oh, Funky Geneva definitely does the disrespect. Definitely does the disrespect. Let's go.
She want the masculine one because she's in competition. She's in a secret competition with his wife. And he's probably paying her to stay quiet, buying her, gifts and shit, paying her bills. That's one of the perks of being a side piece. But in the back of her mind, she's getting some satisfaction from hurting his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem with the LGBT community is trans women like T.S. Madison who protect DL men. Trans women like T.S. Madison who are toxic and sociopathic, and they help abusive men to destroy women and children. I said it.
Yes.
I don't care who gets mad because only the ones that are guilty of being abusers and protecting abusers.
Check that shit, sis. Okay. Drop a boo heart for the spiritual whistleblower, please. If you feeling it.
Will come for me. The first thing that these trans women who I feel are sociopathic, and I didn't say all trans women. Like I said, I have trans women following me that support my content. I have gay men that follow and support my content. They know I'm motherfucking telling the truth. The LGBT community has a lot of toxic, narcissistic, sociopathic motherfuckers within it. And they taint the entire community. Instead of taking accountability, they just say, you're homophobic, you're this, you're that. No, bitch. Who's calling out these toxic motherfuckers in the LGBT? T.S. Madison sat there and played in Nene's face. First of all, I feel Nene Leakes is also a narcissist. And, Nene Leakes being a reality TV star, reality TV cast narcissists. Whatever, all these shows are toxic because all the reality TV stars, they're all narcissists. You have to be a narcissist to, actively participate in these toxic shows because narcissists love drama. And drama is what drives up the ratings, okay? Bravo needs ratings. So Bravo is going to cast toxic housewives to keep the drama, they're frenemies. 1 minute they cool, they kikiing and hey girl, hey. And then the next minute they talking about each other behind each other's backs. That's what narcissists do. Okay, that's what toxic narcissistic reality stars do. So the whole fucking cast is narcissistic. Nene Leakes being one of the top messiest reality stars, she is totally a narcissist. And she allowed T.S. Madison to get away with calling her, I guess manly looking or tranny looking. And then T.S. Madison sat there and tried to clean it up. Girl, T.S. Madison wouldn't have been on my motherfucking podcast after insulting me the way that she did. But that's what narcissists do because Nene is a narcissist. Nene does the frenemy thing. 1 minute we're friends, 1 minute we're enemies. She did it on the show. She did it on Housewives. They all fall out with each other, then they all back friends again. A woman that's not a narcissist is not going to invite a woman, an enemy, back into her life. Bitch, once I catch you talking about me or doing something shady, you will never be close to me. We won't even be. No. I'm going to draw a boundary and I'm going to stop fucking with you. You do not get access to me anymore. But on reality TV, because they cast narcissistic women, narcissists have no boundaries. So they do the frenemy thing. 1 minute they're friends and they allow their enemy to come back into their life and they back cool again. That's just reality TV. So that's why Nene allowed T.S. Madison to get away with disrespecting her, didn't turn around and invite T.S. Madison back on her show. I would have never had T.S. on my show. Oh, you insult me, bitch? And you think I'm going to give you some time to shine on my motherfucking platform? Nene was stupid for that. And then T.S. Madison basically played around, did the word play. That's not what I meant. When I said tranny, I meant tranny or whatever she said to Nene to try to clean up. No, T.S. Madison disrespected Nene Leakes with those remarks. Okay. And Nene allowed it. This is why a lot of toxic, sociopathic trans women are always coming for real women, biological women, They don't respect us. They don't like us. A lot of them are closeted misogynists. I think T.S. Madison is totally a closeted misogynist.
Yes, so let's talk about it. We've all seen the videos where T.S. Madison, remember the video where T.S. Madison went into a ladies' bathroom, right? She goes into a ladies' bathroom, a woman's space with her dick, right? Goes into the bathroom with her dick. She sees a woman's pad. I guess, it was a larger one, the one that they give us after surgeries, after a cesarean section, after giving birth, after maybe having fibroids removed, stuff like that, the larger or absorbency, or the larger ones that women like me, like a large percentage of Black women have to use because the first couple of days of your period are insanely heavy, because a lot of us are dealing with women's issues, stuff that our biology is affected by. A lot of us have PCOS and endometriosis. So sometimes we have to use larger pads. So T.S. Madison goes into the ladies' bathroom with his dick and comes out making fun of the size of a sanitary napkin, right? So, but that didn't stop there. Of course, T.S. Madison loves to call women fish, right? Loves to say stuff like that, loves to degrade and diminish and make all these biofemphobic comments towards women, right? She just got into it with Kaya again, right? What did she say about Kaya? What did she say? She attacked her period. She attacked her menstrual cycle. She talked about how Kaya is always on her period. Well, honey, maybe Kaya has PCOS. Maybe Kaya is dealing with womanhood. Maybe she's dealing with things that only happen to women, because people with dicks don't know anything about PCOS and heavy periods. So how dare you, as someone who is literally trying to usurp a woman's image, and let's talk about usurping the women's image, right? This is a vile, disrespectful, vulgar individual that wants to literally walk in our image. And as a Black woman, it's really a lot, because everybody wants to categorize us and judge us by the hood boogers. You notice how, and I don't even say it's everybody, namely the Black community, okay? Because I can't even say it's anybody outside of our community. But the minute a hood booger does something or whatever it is, oh, this is how Black women are, right? So we don't need anybody else playing in our image. We don't need, not to mention with all of the other things that we can statistically identify as jacked up within our culture as Black women, right? That we can't even get away from because it's prevalent. We don't need no more people running rough top in our image. No. Okay. Godmother 2012 says, and bleeding for 9 months straight. Honey, look, I am a woman that has both PCOS and endometriosis. Thank God that I did not have it during my childbearing years and I was able to have children. Okay. But there have been times where I'm having a cycle every 2 weeks. Okay. That's just the reality of being a woman. And a man, even if he has on a dress, even if he has on a beat face and has a perfect BBL and triple D breast, okay, and the best lip color combo from the Lip Bar, a man cannot tell you that. Not with his dick, honey. No, he can't. So he shouldn't even speak on that. But talking about it and identifying it is what gets us called TERF or transphobic. Nobody is transphobic. Nobody does.
Okay. Sit there and listen to T.S. Madison talk and you'll hear the misogyny come out. Yep. Multiple occasions. Multiple. Okay. And the fact that she sat on Nene's podcast and admitted, she likes her a manly man. I think, narcissists, they like the thrill of being in control and breaking somebody. That's why she still has her man part, because she uses her man part to break down the masculine straight man, the masculine straight man that has a wife at home. T.S. Madison be on a power trip when she uses her man piece to break down. It's called buck breaking. She buck breaks these men. Okay? I'm going to call it out. That's what it is.
Come on now, sis. Not Timothy out here buck breaking. Not Timothy out here buck breaking these men. Okay, let's talk about it.
She don't want the feminine man. She wants the masculine man with the wife and kids at home, so she could break that nigga down and makes her feel empowered and control. That's where I get the sociopathic part from T.S. Madison. She's toxic as fuck. I don't believe she likes women. She'll never admit to it, but if you listen to her enough and watch her patterns, her behaviors, it screams sociopath, okay? Closeted misogynist. And I believe that is the problem with the LGBT community. You have good people, gay men. I've met some amazing, beautiful gay men that support me, and they can't stand narcissistic gay people. They admit that this is a huge problem in the LGBT community. I've met some amazing trans women. Don't ever come for me and say I'm homophobic when I have both gay men and trans women supporting my content. I also have lesbians who support my content. So don't you dare. I wish a bitch would call me homophobic.
And you know what? Let's get into that part too. So this whole erasure of women things that they're doing, the fact that, they're trying to eliminate what it means to be gay. Is that not an attack on the LGBT community? So it's crazy, the slippery slope that we went on. Now nobody knows what a woman is, and now nobody knows what gay is too. So now we don't even know what gay is anymore. We don't know what a woman is. We don't know what a man is. Okay, we don't know what gay is anymore, all to accommodate people like T.S. Madison. Okay, no, she don't play. She don't play at all.
Getting mad because I'm calling out this toxic, narcissistic, sociopathic behavior. Y'all know y'all got these toxic motherfuckers in y'all community, and y'all rather stick together and protect DL men, not say nothing when these men go home and they do this shit behind their wife and kids' back. Y'all know it's wrong. But you're so narcissistic that you get off on turning these men out while laughing at their wives behind their wives' back. Shame on you. Yes, T.S. Madison is one of these individuals. Highly narcissistic, highly sociopathic. And this is one of the problems that LGBT has. Y'all won't call out these motherfuckers or separate yourselves from these motherfuckers in your own community. I said what I said.
She said what she said. Okay. Not right now, baby. We ain't gonna listen to that right now. She said what she said, right? And actually, let me grab another video of hers. But while I do that, let's do a little throwback, okay? While I go and gather another one of her videos and have the most crimes perpetuated against them, all of this stuff. But
and I remember looking at those stats, and it was just basically like, either their romantic partner is going to kill them, somebody that they thought was a friend, or it just goes unsolved.
The pink patriarchy is what I call it.
So essentially,
they're doing the same thing. They're doing the same exact thing. What does patriarchy do? Patriarchy is going to marginalize a group. They're going to make one group is raised up to a specific status. The other group is going to be marginalized. Typically, that group is going to be women. Like every single point that you can get from like a Kevin Samuels conversation about women, you can get from a trans person or a gay man about women.
To be a woman.
Okay, so first of all, because we are women, it's very hard for most people to just define it. But here's what I can tell you, because you don't have the experience, you won't know, but womanhood and being a woman is a frequency. Okay, it's something that you exist on. It's a level, it's a vibration, and just like, I guess, like you would say being Black is a frequency, how we can communicate with each other without even knowing each other based on who we are. You can be in a room with a bunch of Black people that you've never met, and you can communicate with them and you understand, because there's a frequency to being Black. There's a frequency to being a woman. Okay. And there's an understanding that women can have for other women and for girls that is just not explainable. And it's not something that you can pick up and go and buy at a mat counter. Okay, so just so you guys know, Storm has addressed the gay thing and says that he's not. So, like, can we not? Can we not? And I don't even know why why anybody would think that it's cool to do that, since clearly he had me on his platform. Clearly there's some collaboration there. So, like, why would my chat room be going in on whether or not? Why would he be the subject matter? Is he the person that is making the problem for women? I'm just wondering. So let's go into this one, because she also talked about this, right? Which he got clocked by a gay man. Okay. Let me share this one. Remove this.
Well, I don't date gay men.
Well,
What
okay,
is
well,
you?
you know, when you guys be saying that, that's weird.
Why?
Because what do you mean you don't date gay men? Because if he is sleeping with you and sleeping with a woman, he's something.
Well, he's not gay.
What is he?
I want to know what she is, and the word is delusional.
Shout out to the DL Whisperer. I have him tagged in my caption. Even though they try to get his account banned, he has a new page. So please follow him and follow his YouTube. But I'm glad that he posted this video and his opinion about T.S. Madison. He called her fucking delusional. And, you know, I just want to know, for all the pick-me women and all the narcissistic, sociopathic gay men and trans women, are you going to jump on the DL Whisperer and call him transphobic? Number one, he's a man, and number two, he's gay. So is he transphobic too, bitch, since he comes from y'all community? Or is he one of the good gay people calling out the bad gay people within the LGBT community? See what I did there? See, when I call T.S. Madison out, here come the slurs. I'm homophobic. I'm transphobic. But what happens when somebody from your own fucking community calls T.S. Madison out for being a narcissist? Because that's all it is. T.S. Madison is highly narcissistic. Shit, she's a sociopath, if you want to ask me. All her behaviors check off as sociopathic. And, you know, the crazy shit is all narcissists do this thing called word salad. Google it. Google narcissistic word salad and you see what comes up. A narcissist will sit in your fucking face and talk in circles to confuse you and throw you off from finding out the truth. And that's exactly what the fuck T.S. Madison did in Nene. She played in Nene's face, trying to confuse Nene. But that is what narcissists and sociopaths do. They deliberately create confusion, because when you confuse someone, you can keep them off guard and they're easier to control and have power over. That is every narcissist, every sociopath, psychopath, they have to have dominance, power, and control over everyone, especially their romantic partners. See, I done read and clocked T.S. Madison's T, 100% sociopath. So she sat there in Nene's face and said she doesn't date gay men. And Nene's confused, like, well, if he is messing with men and women, what is he? And T.S. Madison said, well, he's not gay. So I'm going to translate what the fuck T.S. Madison said, since she wants to play in people's faces and intentionally, very strategically confuse people. She's deliberately fucking confusing people. But those of us who have high discernment, spiritual discernment, can see through the bullshit. Okay? And that's why I stitched DL Whisperer's video, because he called her out too. So I want to know if y'all are going to call him transphobic because he comes from the same motherfucking community as all y'all do.
So yeah, they definitely will call him transphobic. In fact, guess what I saw them calling him? Just for having integrity. He's a pick-me. He's a pick-me. He is a pick-me. Because anybody that has the integrity to call a spade about that community, they have to be attacked. They have to be attacked. Okay, let's see. I don't know if you guys saw T.S. Madison's thumbnail for his video today, but here we go.
Afraid I got to call in my cavalry because I got sisters. SISTERs.
And for her to sit up there and say, oh, she got sisters for Spiritual Whistleblower, I can't even get it out. Okay, and Spiritual Whistleblower got me. You got sisters for her and she got a brother for you. So make sure you remember that. And I'm in Atlanta, you in Atlanta, she in New York. What do you want to do with that? Because my whole thing is like, why not just have a simple conversation and try to be understanding? She's like, oh, I've been going against DL man my whole entire career. No, because what you sat up there and did, you literally told us that you messed with DL man without having to tell us. Like,
well, I don't date gay men.
You don't date gay men because if he is sleeping with you and sleeping with a woman, he's something.
Well, he's not gay.
What is he?
you said you mess with men that are straight. So for a man to be straight, that means that he's only messing with women. You didn't say trans attracted. You didn't say only trans women. You said you don't mess with gay men. You mess with straight men. So you let us know right there that you mess with DL men. Even in this video to where she was talking about DL whistleblower, she literally is like, I used to get paid to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, so at the end of the day, you already know what's up. Like, you're trying to act like, yeah, you don't do that anymore, but to sit here today and say, well, I don't even talk to gay men, like, you're not getting paid to do it, but you're still doing it. You're not in the business anymore, if that makes sense, but you're still on the same shit. The rhetoric is harmful regardless.
Not in competition with their wife. I needed them to go home.
Wow.
Because I didn't want to be in any one of y'all positions that y'all get in.
But you want to be them. That's the confusion. That's like, how do you want to be something, but all you got is negativity to say about it? Who did that sound like? A DL man. But like I keep telling y'all, them and DL man are one and the same. But I just want to say this. The fact that she attacked whistleblower's look, saying, oh, she could never be da-da-da-da, saying she could never be her, because whistleblower doesn't have to do all of that extra. At the end of the day, T.S. Madison, you and Spiritual Whistleblower are almost the same age. The only difference is she can walk around naturally being herself and doesn't have to do all of these things that you have to do to, quote unquote, get all of these masculine men. Because again, these men only want you because you haven't had the surgery. You saying you don't need to have the surgery to validate anybody. Well, we know that you don't want to have the surgery because, like you said, that's how you bought a house. You're talking about all of these accolades, boo. That's how you got those accolades. Tell us who you had to use that 10 inches on to get there. Because I'm curious to know. Because, I mean, listen, we know you didn't get there because you were just this great woman. Let me just say this. Using status and power and money as a way to make people inferior to you, that's just what a man would do. So this is why we always say, I don't know why y'all be running away from the fact that you're just like that, because your brain still operates like that. How many women, I have power, I have status, I'm Timothy. We know Timothy. You're the only person that thinks that you'll ever be Madison. But okay. I hope y'all have a great day.
Okay, so I did not detect any lies, okay? Like, Timothy absolutely has a male brain, all right? Let's go to this one. I think this isn't the one.
Keep continuously asking me, why did T.S. Madison say that? Okay, so first of all, I'm not T.S. Madison, but let me just give you my opinion. The reason why she said they don't date gay men is because they don't. Like, boo, they're supposed to be a woman. So if I'm gay, why would I be dating that? Not to be rude, but I'm just saying, why would I be dating that and I'm supposed to be gay? Okay, and besides the fact, because some gay men are into trans women, the issue is trans women are trying to separate themselves from being gay men. So if they date gay men, they're going to be labeled as gay boys, not women. See where it's coming in? You see where the confusion comes into play for a lot of y'all? Because you don't know that they are trying to separate themselves because you look at them like you look at me. Because we are the same. Let's be clear. We're not the same because I'm still the same me. But when I say we're the same, we're both gay boys. We're both gay boys, just different looks. That's also why they need men to be DL, because it doesn't work if women aren't talking to the man. Guess what? If men can't get women, they don't want them. They want those men because they can get women. They have wives, they have girlfriends. Because for them, they're competing with the women. So if they get a man that is with a woman or can get women, they feel like I've won the competition. So getting with a gay man isn't going to help them feel complete. And that's literally the ones who say that type of stuff, like Tia's, that's why they say it. And I hope that this helps.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And one thing that I really, really need Timothy and the rest of them to understand about womanhood. Okay, so yeah, it is definitely a frequency, right? But also there are some prerequisites to womanhood. Okay, and that is girlhood, and I explained that a couple years ago.
Being a woman, again, is a frequency and there's a process. So in order to get to womanhood, you have to go through girlhood first, right? So you go through your girlhood and then you graduate into womanhood. And it's just not something that you pick up. It's not something that you learn. It's how you exist. It's again, it's your vibe. It's who you are. It's what you are genetically. And we're not all women. Okay.
So yeah. And last we checked, Timothy was a boy in high school. Okay. Yeah, Timothy was a boy in high school. So I like you definitely have to be a girl before you can be a woman. Okay. And before you can be a girl, you're literally a baby girl. Okay. You are an infant female, which is typically what the birth certificate will say, right? Angela said, those men like Madison are jealous of women and are in competition. They secretly, and you know what, baby? It's not even a secret no more. That hatred that they have for women, it's not secret. It's quite overt. It is very pronounced. But what I'm trying to figure out is why women don't see that or act like it's cool. Or like, why are women, and it's funny how you see women now online saying, oh, women need to stop being intimidated by them and they're jealous because they're competing. Baby, that is not true. That is so not true. And if you got an insecurity issue about a trans woman, then honey, you need therapy. Okay, because that's something that you should not care about. Why would the blueprint be jealous of the imposter? Okay, like once you've actually had a Gucci bag, a real one, once you've actually had a Louis Vuitton bag, baby, you're not intimidated by the knockoffs. The knockoff don't matter. Okay, the knockoff is for those who cannot obtain the real. And that's just what it is. That is just what it is. Let's take a quick break and run an ad real quick, and I will be right back. Okay. Listen, we need to talk about your credit. Okay. I don't know your business. You know it. So stop and listen for a second. You already know that you need to refinance that car because a 20% interest rate is not cute for nobody. Get out of that bad loan. Get yourself into a better position. Slash your debt in half if your credit score is right. Listen, I used to have a car payment that was $875. All I had to do was get my credit in order, refinance it down, and I ended up paying only $500 a month for what I previously paid $875 a month. That can be you. I have a kit on my website, the Credit Glow Up Kit. It will help you. It gives you all of the templates and the tools that you need in order to fix your credit. You do not have to spend hundreds of dollars a month to let someone con you into thinking that you need that kind of help. Go to my website. It's really easy. It's $5.99. You can download it right away. Fix your credit, okay? Stop being embarrassed when you go to the car dealership. You sitting in there for 10 hours just to get financed because your credit is bad. Let's stop that this year. Did you grow up watching your mom choose men over you? Was she your first bully? Are you constantly drawn to men who expect you to suffer in silence and call it loyalty? Do you feel torn between loving the women that raised you and confronting them for their harmful mindset and ways? If you have ever felt unseen, unloved, or unprotected, especially by the very people who should have had your back, then the Mammy DSM was written for you. I put this to language, these experiences. I identify these deeply ingrained behaviors. I trace their roots, and I show you exactly how they shape your relationships and your self-worth, and even your ability to thrive. This book will help you name the patterns, unpack the pain, and break the cycle once and for all. Please heal, unlearn, and reclaim. Grab your copy of the Mammy DSM. The link to the book is down in the comment section. Okay, so I have a question. Because listen, I've been seeing people talk about this for a while, and if anybody wants to come up to talk about this with me, I'll drop the link for a little while, right? Listen, they are basically saying now, and this is something that most of us, I'm Gen X, and a lot of you guys are Gen X, millennials, and some of you, I'm sure, are Gen Z. And I think we actually have boomers, and we got like literally every generation on our channels, right? When they talk about gender being a social construct, right? That's where they get a lot of the saying of, this has nothing to do with biology. Anybody can be a woman. It's how you feel. It's an identity and all this kind of stuff, right? Here's where I will concede. The only concession that I will give to what is a social construct as it relates to men and women are gender roles. Gender roles, for the most part, except for specific functions, are definitely social. So, but even in that, let's explain some stuff. The social constructs that are attached to gender are actually attached to how the biological function of said gender operates. So men being the providers, right, is because what? They're stronger, body mass, all of that kind of stuff. Women have the children. Women are the ones giving birth. Women are the ones that are nursing. So typically, these social constructs for gender come from a biological function or need, right? So to just lump it all and say that gender itself is social is highly disingenuous. Men being protectors, right? Why is that? Their strength dynamic. Women being the nurturers, why is that? Compassion. The way that, and I'm not saying that these traits cannot exist within men and women, but based on your gender, it will definitely present a different way. So I will concede that gender roles, because even if you think about it today, you may very well, your husband could, at one point be making more money than you as I don't know. Let's say he works on the railroad, honey. You don't get more masculine than that. And he making $70,000 or $80,000 a year. But so he's a breadwinner. But baby, you a beauty influencer. You didn't blew up all over the place. So you making $200,000-$300,000 a year now. Technically, you're a breadwinner. Okay. Social. That's a social construct, but womanhood being, the actual gender, the actual being a man, being a woman, those are not things that are social. Not at all. Not at all. JQ says women are human females unless they're talking about who is cooking in the kitchen, etc. It is all about sex. Well, here's the thing, and women have been suppressed, but women cannot be erased. Okay, we can say what we want to say. We don't like the orange motherfucker, but he can't erase our gender. Okay, so if you walking around here with a passport that had to be changed because you have a fake identity, then there's a problem, right? Or XX or XY. Absolutely. So just even thinking about how the only people that have to take an L for this to be a thing are women and children. Okay, men don't have to necessarily take an L because they don't have to deal with them unless, you know, they're bi or that's their thing or whatever. They don't have to, you know, take a hit to, you know, their image per se or whatever. They don't have to worry about them. But we are the ones being forced into sharing space, imagery, and all of that kind of stuff. Just the fact that we have to be reclassified in order for them to exist. Calling a woman a birthing person, saying that periods are for everyone. What the hell? What the hell? And as much as people like to talk about transphobia and all this and you know all this kind of shit, and I have to keep reiterating, I would never co-sign for people to be abusive or inhumane to any group of people because of how they identify. Okay, Flame Monroe, love me some Flame Monroe. Okay, but Flame Monroe also understands the boundaries and does not step over them. You know, thinking about all of the young girls, I was literally just about to bring this up. JQ said segregated teams, segregated washrooms are all due to sexual dysmorphism, not gender. They hide behind gender to attack sex, but most of the things they attack are not about gender at all. Absolutely not. Think about the girls who are having to compete with biological males in sports. You know, and it's a damn shame because at the end of the day, what we're looking at is men who have opted out of manhood because they can't compete with men, at least not that way, right? They can take a man down by identifying him to be attracted to one of them. We remember what they just did. One of them just did like about a month ago to a rapper, straight blatantly lied and said that he was having a relationship with him. They weaponized their, you know, their disposition against men. That's how they conquer other men. They weaponize it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the fact that they can't compete with them. They don't want to fight as men. And now they're expecting the same protections that women are expecting. And the fact that you got women that will sit their silly asses up there right next to them when they say Black women need protection. You can't sit up here and expect no Black man to protect you, T.S. Madison and Hope Giselle. Ain't nobody doing that. Do you not see that these men are literally usurping everything that was designed for you? Every advancement that was specifically for you because you were a part of a suppressed group, they want it. And they want to they want to take it away? Like, please. CJ says, right, then when they offer open categories, they still refuse to compete because, again, they will be competing against, they don't want to compete against men. They want to dominate women. And here's one thing that I have always said. If they were honest about things, if they were righteous, they would not be fighting for the W. They would fight for the T. They would fight for their own identity, but instead they want to take ours and do what it is that they want with it. That's BS. Okay. Honest Gen Z said women, even the so-called liberal ones, are still male worshipers. They absolutely are, of the highest order, which is why they don't have a problem with attacking other women over a Barbie with a Y chromosome. Shame. Damn shame. Damn shame. You know, and not to mention, and things that people don't like to talk about, that they get angry with talking about. Why are they overrepresented in prisons for sex crimes? When you drill into the numbers, people that identify as trans, when they are in prison, what do you think they're in prison for, you guys? What about all of the men who suddenly in the state of California decided to identify as trans so they can go to a women's prison? I think I told you guys about what happened where the guy decided that he wants to identify as a woman because he got sentenced to prison, went into that prison and started SAing women. And the state of California did not know how to handle it because they defined rape as something that happened between, they defined rape as an act that happened between where the man was the perpetrator and a woman was the victim. But because the state of California said that they're both women, they were having a hard time even charging the individual. Oh yes. Oh yes. I covered this maybe like about, I want to say 6 or 7 months ago. About 6 or 7 months ago. Nobody wants to talk about what happens in, inside, which I know a lot of people don't think about this because they don't care about what happens in women's prisons or whatever. But here's the thing. When we think about women in prison, the majority of women are not in prison for violent crimes because violence is not really the nature of women. Now, we can get into some numbers that would startle us because we're Black women, because we are overrepresented with violence, but we also are overrepresented with being male identified, in my opinion, and that makes it go hand in hand. The fact that, and this is a global issue. It is a global issue to sit and have a man flopping his dick around in a locker room where your little girl is there. It's just, it's not cool. It's not cool. And why are they so vulgar? Why are they so nasty with this? Why aren't they because really trans men are almost model citizens in that regard when they go into male spaces. Now, what I will say is that a lot of them exhibit a lot of the same toxic behaviors as biological males do. And I do find it interesting that when a woman chooses to identify as a male, and I'm not saying this is all, but there is a large representation of those trans identified women, the ones that are that think that they're going to be men or whatever. Think about the men that they mimic. They mimic the worst in men, just like T.S. Madison them oftentimes mimic the worst in women. There's something at the root of all of this that is just not right. It's not good, because why are the trans men always the sagging, dusty, misogynistic, abusive? Because they do have the highest rates of domestic violence in relationships as well, right? Why is that like that? And why are the T.S. Madisons the vulgar, rude, overly sexual, just nasty? Why is it these people that want to jump into our space, jump into our womanhood, why are they always representing the worst of us? Because they don't like us, right? The thing is, simply the best, I don't disagree about it being gender dysphoria, but what I will add to that is that it's not just that. There's some other stuff in there. There's some histrionic stuff in there. There's some narcissism. There's some sociopath. There is a lot of other things that nobody wants to talk about and people can't say, because calling a spade gets you called transphobic. So yeah. JMM55. Yeah, a lot of women are in prison protecting or defending men. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Say said, yes, there is a body cam of this woman at the airport telling the police to suck her D, and then everything else straight up acting like a hood dude on the street corner. A lot of them behave like that. A lot of them. I've seen the ones who even say, oh, I don't date single mothers. And I mean, literally, whenever they take on the identities, they take on the worst identity. Why? How come that? Why is that? Why is that? And not to mention, this one guy went viral telling Black women, that basically he made, they made our culture and they're this and stop. How like we, the sayings, clock that T and all this kind of stuff. Oh, that's ours. And you guys are trying to erase our legacy. And I'm like, well, I'll be damned. What? Oh, they're very protective over their culture. They're very protective over what they do and say, over what they, in their minds invent. It's a trip. Okay. Simply the Best says, not sociopath, histrionic, but yeah, their desire to just reclassify things is weird. Like, who voted for that? Who decides? Well, I guess America didn't vote for it. No pun intended. But yeah, it's just it's really sad. And then the attack, if you really get down into the brass tacks, the attack is definitely on the babies. In the state of California, your 8-year-old can say, "Hey, mom, I'm a boy now." Right? These are the laws that they are trying to work to remove right now. But your 8-year-old can say, "Yo, I'm a boy now." Right? And if you don't agree with that, and you don't go with that, and don't go with the whole transitioning thing, you could find yourself having an issue. You could find yourself losing custody of your kids if you don't go with this mess. Now, again, just really think about it. A child cannot consent to sexual relations. A child cannot, can't drive a car, can't buy liquor, can't fight in the army, can't get married, can't do none of that stuff, right? But a child can decide to transition. A child can decide to take hormones. A child can decide to get their to have hormone blockers, to get their breasts removed. Like, it makes sense, right? Can't drink, can't vote, can't do all the things. This is an attack on children as well, And then I really could get deeper, but I know you two wouldn't like it. Because again, when you start to study the origins of some of these organizations that are out front with this, then you really start to see, and that rabbit hole really, really gets deep. Okay. JQ said, and that's another thing, sexual dimorphism exists throughout nature and dictates so many things. Even plants exhibit it, not something humans are constructing like they love to pretend. And you know what I don't like? Because there is a thing called intersex. It is real. It's a real thing. But intersex people, and I say this with all due respect, they have very, very small numbers. There are very, very low numbers of that actually occurring. And it's actually it's a genetic defect. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's not the other gender. It's a defect. It's a shame. Oh yeah, let's talk about this. I think I even might have my my video from that. Okay. CJ says the term cis is another one. I'm like, just because you wanted to be trans does not exactly. And let me just show you guys exactly why we do not accept being called cisgender. This is why, and then we'll wrap this up.
A lot of people don't know what cisgendered mean, right? So cisgender, for people that don't know, it literally means that you have accepted the gender that you were assigned at birth. Okay. So buying into being called cisgender is buying into an ideology. So if you do not agree that gender is something that can be assigned, you cannot agree to be called cisgender. So I don't believe that you can assign gender. For me, gender is biological.
So yeah, so a lot of people like to say, "Oh, you're ignorant. You shouldn't be mad at me calling cis." I don't buy into that ideology. Okay, and here's the thing: neither does the world. And no, it's not a medical term. It was a term that came about from someone that called themselves a sexologist whose mentor just so happened to be a pedophile. Okay, look it up. Okay, the German sexologist that came up with the term cisgender was mentored by a pedophile. Okay, and I mean someone that openly said that children should have the choice to sleep with adults. Okay, so anyway, I get triggered with this topic. I don't know if I can leave this up. I'll see if I can, depending on how it goes through processing, because something about having an opinion especially when it relates to that community, we're not allowed to have, you know, we're just not allowed to have, right? JQ says, agree, we're not agreeing to our gender. We just are. They are rejecting theirs, so they alone should have the prefix. We don't need, exactly. I'm not accepting no prefix. Not at all. I remember having like the worst fight with a good friend of mine over this cis stuff. Like, no. And, you know, they want to talk about intersectionality and all this kind of, baby. No, we're not going to intersect through my womanhood. That's not what we're about to do. Okay. Let's see. Callie Cooley says, why can't we have our chosen pronouns not be cis? Because men like to be in authority over women. That's why. And I mean, you know, spiritually, I could really have this conversation, right? Because this is a spiritual attack on women and women only for multiple reasons. But I don't want to convolute this stream with that. But this is a very, very spiritual attack on women. Very spiritual attack. Very spiritual attack on women. I mean, and this is part of the reason why we're not seeing this backlash or all this discussion surrounding men with, you know, trans men coming to their communities. The attack is on womanhood. Okay. Mrs. D said, I had a perverted trans who used to come in for his T-shot with the biggest dildo laying on his thigh. I always wanted the shot in that thigh. I had to stop interacting with him oh my God. Girl alive. That sounds crazy. Okay, JQ, I'll leave it for about an hour. But if you guys miss it, y'all know if you got, I'll definitely put this on Patreon in the very least, or I might just edit it and make it a little bit more friendly, if that makes sense. So thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate everybody coming through. Thank you for supporting me. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to get your credit fixed. Get on my website. Okay, it'll be in the comment section. $5.99. You do not have to pay nobody no $400 to fix your raggedy credit. You can do it yourself. It's the same templates that they use that are available on my website. Grab a copy of my book, The Mammy DSM, Diagnosing the Self-Sacrificing Woman. We're going to be doing a little bit more conversation surrounding that book as well. But get into there. Join Team Manifest, okay? We are manifesting big things with the Girl Alive. Go to my website. Check it out. I'll see you guys later. I love you guys so much. And yeah, be safe out here, y'all. Bye-bye.